General Tates.
Ano, positive ka? Hindi ka pwede pumunta dito?
Yes, Your Honor, merong minamalat lang. But if you will require the RD to be physically present, I will gladly travel, sir.
Saan ka ngayon?
Sa Kalamba, Your Honor.
Malayo na. Sige, okay na.
General Tates, your excuse because you're celebrating your birthday today.
Pasensya na, Your Honor, kasi medyo maraming nagbisita kasi ng lunch yesterday. So, medyo minalat lang, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. From the Provincial Director of Cavite, Police Colonel Christopher F. Olazo. Also from the Death Investigation Division, we have Mr. Emibe M. Babor and Mr. Jose Romel Ramirez. From Binyan City, we have Police Lieutenant Colonel Virgilio Hopia, Chief of Police for Binyan. For Imus, we have Police Lieutenant Colonel Michael D. Batoktoy. From the Department of Justice, we have Deputy State Prosecutor Olivia Torrevillas. With her is Attorney Mary Grace Arboladura. From the National Bureau of Investigation, we have Assistant Director Vicente de Guzman III. Assistant Regional Director Jerry Abiera. Regional Director Renan Agustos Oliva. Chief of Death Investigation Division, Head Agent Julio T. Cahigan Jr. Supervising Agent for NCR, Senior Agent Jimmy B. Babor Liwanag. Agent for Death Investigation Division, Agent Henry Rojas Jr. Executive Officer for the Liaison Unit, Attorney Christopher Godinez. From the CHED, virtually present is Attorney Frederick Farolan and Attorney Peter Lloyd Carpio. For the Coordinating Council of Private Educational Associations and Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities, we have present Attorney Christine Carmina R. Manawag. Virtually attending with her is Ms. Maya Angelique P. Hahalia. From Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges, we have virtually attending Dr. Tirso Ronquillo, President, and with him is Legal Tito Clavesillas, spokesperson for the university. From the family of Mr. John Matthew Salilig, we have Mr. Jeffrey Salilig, victim's father, and Mr. John Michael Salilig, brother. And from the family of Horacio Castillo III, Mr. Horacio Castillo Jr., and Mrs. Carmina T. Castillo. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Before we propound questions, I'd like to lay some of these facts established during the March 7 hearing, but these are too detailed, and most of these are now out in the public through the media. We probably would be better off if we get an update from our police officers here as to the status of the cases filed and as to the number of arrests made so far, including those who surrendered. And thereafter, we'll be asking the Department of Justice to briefly apprise this committee as to the number of cases filed. And if the National Bureau of Investigation can likewise give a short narrative on that. But before that, I'd like to ask Committee Secretary, how many new resource persons are present here? We need to administer the oath.
To all our resource persons who did not attend the last hearing, kindly stand up, please.
The parent of Matthew Salilig, perhaps is likewise included. Those virtually present, the University of Cebu, and the others who were not requested to attend during the last hearing, pakitayo po at pakitaas ang kanang kamay. University of Cebu.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this Senate investigation?
I do, Your Honor.
So, as to recap, can we have the latest update from the police officers, PNP? It's either RD or with your permission, the senior officer present here. Perhaps the Chief of Police of Binyan. Ilan na ba yung may bago bang surrender nung tayo huli nag-usap? May 10 pa. Ilan yung bagong na-file? Sagutin nyo ng NBI at Department of Justice. Who will speak? Colonel Hopia or you have the jurisdiction? Colonel Virgilio Hopia, Binyan City Police.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Hindi si PD ba? May gustong idagdag mamaya? O siya na lang? Siya na lang. Go ahead.
Sir, last March 10 po, sir, we have filed all cases, sir, of another 2 counts of violation of RA 11053, sir. We have, sir, one newly identified na suspect, sir, after ng ating hearing, sir, at napailan na rin po namin ng kaso nung sir, sa DOJ. At as of today, sir, 11 at large po na suspect, sir, ang ating sa kaso po na ito, sir. Ang arrested natin still, sir, 7 pa rin po, sir. And
Ilan pa ho ang at large?
11 po, sir.
11. So, ano hong status ng at large? Mahuhuli? Malapit na mahuli? Mahirapang mahuli?
We are waiting for, sir, for a resolution ng kaso, sir, pagka nalabasan na sila, sir, ng warrant of arrest po, sir.
So, it's probably appropriate to ask the Department of Justice kailan po ilan pa yung na-inquest natin dito at ilan pa yung na-file na ng kaso. Who will answer on behalf of the Department of Justice? Attorney.
Good morning. Good afternoon, Your
online.
Honor. May I answer? We are here, Mr. Chair.
Ay, yes. Yes. Attorney Torrevillas. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our Senate President, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri.
March.
Yes. Attorney Torrevillas and Attorney Deputy State Prosecutor. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chair. The Department of Justice filed 3 cases with the Regional Trial Court of Binyan City, Laguna, Your Honor, on March 15, 2023, Your Honor, against those respondents who were apprehended and were brought to the Department for Inquest Proceedings, Your Honor. In respect of those respondents who are still at large, we have yet to conduct the preliminary investigation, Mr. Chair, because as earlier reported by the PNP filed or referred the case for preliminary investigation against those suspects who are still at large.
May sinasabi po si Colonel Lopia kanina na naghihintay sila nung fa-filean pa. Ilan pa ba yung fa-filean? So, ano nang status nung na-file na?
We just received, Mr. Chair, the case for preliminary investigation on March 10, Mr. Chair, and the subpoenas were already sent to the respondents, Mr. Chair.
So, hindi pa nagko-conduct ng PI?
In the process of conducting the preliminary investigation, in so far as those who are at large.
So, when do we start this? Mag-Holy Week na?
The panel intends to conduct the preliminary investigation after the Holy Week, Mr. Chair.
After the Holy Week. Medyo matagal-tagal na yun. And that would be April?
First week of April, Mr. Chair.
First week of April. So later on, we'll ask some questions also relative to this. Can we go on to with the permission of the Senate President and Senator De La Rosa? Now, virtually present is the President of the University of Cebu, or are you the Vice President? Attorney, can you identify yourself, sir?
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, I'm Attorney Carmelito Clavisellas, one of the legal officers of University of Cebu, Your Honor.
But you're authorized to speak on behalf of the University of Cebu.
Yes, Your Honor.
I understand a similar hazing incident happened a few months ago which resulted into the death of one of the students of the University of Cebu. Though not part of the privileged speech given by our Senate President last March 1, can you briefly apprise this committee what happened during that December, I think that was December 2022, and what fraternity was involved? I'll give you a few minutes to brief us.
Much obliged, Your Honor. Sometime in December 19, 2022, Your Honor, we received an information from the parent of one of our students, Mr. Ronel Baguio, that one of our students passed away due to
Technical,
hazing.
sandali lang attorney. Pwede bang isang mukha na lang ang lumabas muna habang nagsasalita si attorney para kitang-kita siya? Yan. Better. Go ahead, attorney. Ayan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We received an information last December 19, 2022, Mr. Chair, that one of our students passed away due to an alleged hazing incident, Mr. Chair. The mother of the student informed one of our administrators in one of our campuses, particularly in the University of Cebu METC campus. And
where is it located? Cebu City or Mandaue?
Cebu City, Mr.
Cebu
Chair.
City.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So, the mother informed us of the death of the student, and
Ano hong pangalan? Sabihin niyo na kasi tatanungin ko rin kayo mamaya na file na ba ng kaso, kailan anong course ang kinukuha nitong estudyante, anong fraternity ang involved, ano ang involvement ng University of Cebu, registered ba ho yung fraternity sa Cebu, sanctioned ba ho yung initiation rights ng University of Cebu, etc. Ituloy niyo lang po yung narrative niyo.
Okay, Mr. Chair. So the name of the student, Mr. Chair, is Mr. Ronel Baguio, and the fraternity involved is Tau Gamma Phi, Mr. Chair. The same with the fraternity with the incident in Adamson, Mr. Chair. So December 19, we received the information, and only in January 3 to 2023, Mr. Chair, one of the police officers visited us again and gave us an information regarding the progress of the incident. So we were informed of potential involvement of a faculty member of our institution, and then immediately the day after, Mr. Chair, we conducted our own investigation, and sometime in February 16, 2023, Mr. Chair, we received a letter from the Public Attorney's Office, Cebu City Office, requesting for a formal investigation regarding the death of our student. And they requested some information from us, and we cordially coordinated with the PAO Cebu City Office, Your Honors. Based on the last information that we received, Mr. Chair, we contacted the police officer involved or in charge of this incident, and last week we were given the information. That they're still finalizing the affidavit for the final and official charges against the potential individuals involved, Mr. Chair. On the part of the University of Cebu, Mr. Chair, we do not recognize fraternities and sororities, Mr. Chair. And for this particular incident, the fraternity involved, Tau Gamma Phi, is not a recognized student organization, and their activities are also not recognized in the University of Cebu, Mr. Chair. So,
Just with the permission of Senator De La Rosa, just two quick questions. Is the University of Cebu a member of the Philippine Association of, ano ba yung association natin dito?
College and
College-
universities.
Private universities. Member ba kayo?
Yes, Your Honor, we are a member institution, Your Honor.
Pangalawang question, nagko-conduct pa kayo ng orientation program sa mga gustong sumali sa initiation? Sa mga fraternities?
For the interested members of fraternities, Mr. Chair, no, Mr. Chair, but
Walang
every
Ay,
semester,
hindi kayo nagko-conduct ng orientation seminar?
not
briefing?
specifically for the fraternity members, Mr. Chair, but a general orientation for our students involving fraternities and our hazing policies of the institution, Mr. Chair.
Because that's provided for under the law, that an
That is
orientation
correct, Mr.
program must be conducted. So you don't do that.
We do conduct general orientations, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
General orientation.
Involving topics including hazing, cyberbullying, and
Tactics? Tactics? Topics. Akala ko tactics.
Topics, Mr. Chair.
Topics, so. So I'll ask some questions later on, but with the permission of Senator De La Rosa, the Senate President would like to make an opening statement.
Thank you very much to my distinguished chairman of the committee, the Blue Ribbon Committee, Senator Tolentino, to us, to the Committee on Justice, rather, Senator Tolentino, to my distinguished colleague from Davao, my silingan sa Mindanao, Senator Bato de la Rosa, compadre, sa ating mga kawani sa gobyerno, lalo na sa ating Philippine National Police na nandito po na yun, members of the prosecution panel, the DOJ, together with the different government agencies. I see here the NBI with us, the Bureau of Penology, and yung sino pa ba kasama natin? All the guests that are here today, no? And the families, of course. The families of the hazing victims na nandito po, sila po ang nakaramdam nitong napaka rumal-dumal na krimen na nangyari po sa kanilang pamilya, sa kanilang mga kamag-anak, sa kanilang mga anak. At nandito din, inimbita ko po, Mr. Chairman, the family of Acho Castillo, who died also on hazing, under the same circumstances of hazing in UST. And so, if I may be allowed, Mr. Chairman, to give a brief opening statement. Magandang hapon, my dear colleagues and all our resource persons and guests. First, I would like to thank our distinguished colleague from Cavite, Senator Francis Tol Tolentino, for calling this second hearing to inquire into the death of Adamson University student John Matthew Salilig. And I also believe we are now looking at the similar case of a student in Cebu of similar circumstance. I was paying my respects that day when you had the hearing, Your Honor. I was paying my respects to a good friend, former slain Governor Negros Oriental Royal Degamo. That was on March 7. So once again, my apologies for missing the meeting. Na hindi ako nakapunta sa meeting niyo po, Chairman. During the 17th Congress, I, together with my colleagues, filed and passed Republic Act 11053, which amended Republic Act 8049, a law that was passed in 1995. Nakita talaga natin na itong Republic Act 8049, which was passed in 1995, maraming loopholes at gray areas. Kaya, this passage and amendments to that old law was triggered by the death of UST law student Acho Castillo, whose parents are here today, no? From hazing rights by the Aegis Juris Fraternity in 2017. We have, as I mentioned earlier, Acho's parents are here, Toti and Mini Castillo, to help us in today's proceedings, and thank you for joining us in such short notice. Mr. Chairman, I believe that the law we have now has enough teeth to combat this evil. Aside from banning all forms of hazing, Republic Act 11053 also imposes stiffer penalties on persons involved in carrying out this despicable act. Under the law, those who actually planned and participated in the hazing resulting to death, rape, sodomy, or mutilation will be given the penalty of reclusion perpetua, life imprisonment. That is 40 years imprisonment, Your Honor. Furthermore, Mr. Chairman, under the same law, even if the hazing does not result to death, let me repeat, maski na po hindi namatay ang mga biktima na itong hazing, lahat ng officials present during the hazing, all those who planned it, participated, and as I mentioned, officers present during the hazing, advisor of a fraternity or sorority present during the initiation rites, even former officers, non-resident members, or alumni of the fraternity or sorority present during the hazing are all liable. Ulitin ko po, lahat po ay liable or damay and will be given the same penalty of reclusion perpetua, life imprisonment. My position, Your Honors, I'd like to say hello to my distinguished colleague, Senator Estrada. Ang position ko nito, Mr. Chairman, with due respect to our guests from the Department of Justice and the PNP, as with the laws that we have passed in this chamber, sapat na po ang batas na ito. But it is with the implementation that we are having problems. However, we are willing to listen to our resource persons to possibly improve pa. No? Kung kailangan natin ayusin pa ang panukala, then let us propose which amendments or what amendments they may be to improve the law. Fortunately and commendably, our law enforcers did a great job in apprehending with speed the perpetrators of this crime. Kaya maraming salamat sa mga kawani natin sa PNP, Philippine National Police, and also to the NBI and other enforcement agencies. So on this note, I hope that our partners in government can enlighten us on areas that we can improve on as regards to implementation. We are here to listen and we are open to making the necessary clarifications and amendments if needed to finally put a stop to this evil. Alam mo dito nga yung last statement ko, I desperately hope that Matt's case as the last we ever have to hold the hearing for in these halls. Unfortunately, since the time of Acho's death in 2017, napakarami na pong namatay muli dahil sa hazing. Parang antitigas ng ulo ng mga organisasyon na ito na bawal po ang hazing period. Bawal ang hazing period. And napakatindi ng parusa dito sa mga karumal-dumal na krimen na ito. I think what we need to do, Mr. Chairman, is also ask media, ask our partners in government to make sure that all these organizations know the extent of the punishment waiting for them pag ginawa po nila muli itong hazing sa kanilang mga organizations. At the same time, sa ating mga kababayan na nakikinig, lalo na sa mga bata na gustong sumali dito sa mga fraternities at sororities at itong mga organisasyon na may hazing or initiation, know your rights. Dapat alam nyo po ang inyong karapatan. Pag nagpalabas po ng paddle yan, sabihin nyo kaagad, bawal yan. Huwag kayo pumayag na paluin kayo. Huwag po kayo pumayag na magpabugbog kayo. Huwag kayo pumayag na gawin kayong parang punching bag. Now, under our law, it is not only physical, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, it is mental anguish. So, kung papahiyain kayo, papahubarin kayo, papatakbo kayo nakahubad sa dalawang kanto dun sa barangay ninyo, bawal po yan sa ating batas. They have to know their rights, Mr. Chairman. That's why I'm thanking you for having this hearing. Because if we don't have these hearings, hindi po malalaman ng taong bayan. Pag hindi po nakalabas to sa news at talagang kinover up lang ito at walang nag-uusap tungkol dito sa problemang ito, marami po mga kabataan ay matatamaan, mamamatay, magkakasakitan, no? Masaktan po. Maraming bata na masaktan dito sa mga hazing na ito. Imagine your children, Mr. Chairman. You have two young boys. I know you have two boys, including mine. Imagine, pati mga resource persons natin dito. Inaalagaan natin mabuti ang ating mga anak, di ba po? Sabi nga ng isang kasamahan ko, si Senator Joel Villanueva sa kanyang privilege speech, ayaw nga natin ipadapong lamok, baka biglang magka-dengue yung ating mga anak. Pagdapo ng lamok, talagang iingatan natin. Tapos pagpasok sa mga eskwelahan, na akala po natin ay safe zones para sa mga bata, doon pa sila nabubugbog. Doon pa sila namamatay. That's why, sabi ko, parang tayo lang yata ang bansa na nagkakaroon ng ganitong phenomenon. Wala po akong nababasa. Sa ibang bansa, when I go international news, on the issues of hazing, that is as prevalent as it is in the Philippines. Kung meron nga mass shooting sa Estados Unidos sa kanilang mga eskwelahan, dito sa atin, hazing deaths naman. Nakakahiya. Dapat matigil na po ang practice na ito. And I'm appealing to all members of the PNP, all members of the DOJ, and all the other enforcement agencies that whenever such acts happen, let us show them that the full arm of the law will run after them. They can hide, but they cannot. They can hide, but eventually they will be caught. They can run, but they can't hide. If they hide, hahabulin pa rin sila at huhulihin pa rin sila. So, yan lamang po, Mr. Chairman. Again, in closing, we have to ensure that we lose no more lives to hazing and leave no more families grappling with these devastating losses. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, and I look forward to this day's discussion. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. I'd like to acknowledge the arrival of Senator Jingo Estrada, but Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa would like to make a statement, or would you like to proceed to your questioning?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Senate President. Alam nyo kung gaano ka-importante itong hearing na ito. No less than our Senate President. Napaka-busy niyan, pero nag-attend siya dito sa hearing na ito dahil ayaw niyan na madagdagan pa ng isang buhay. Very precious life ng ating kabataan na mawala. So, dapat ganun rin tayo. Lalong-lalo na yung mga school administrations, ganun tayo ka-seryoso para mapigilan natin ito. So, on that note, Mr. Chair, I just would like to air my observation. Yung mga declaration ni Attorney Navalasca during the last hearing ay tila nauulit na naman ngayon. The same sinasabi nitong representative ng University of Visayas, si Attorney University of Cebu, si Attorney na hindi daw nila nire-recognize ang fraternity sa kanilang eskwelahan, binabawal nila, pinoprohibit nila ang fraternity sa eskwelahan, and yet may namamatay pa rin. And that is a very weak alibi as far as shying away from evading responsibility, responsibility and liability pagdating dito sa ating Anti-Hazing Act of 2018, Mr. President. So, ngayon, Mr. President, siguro mas maganda klaruhin talaga natin alam nila na mayroong fraternity sa eskwelahan nila. Pero hugas kamay sila dahil hindi namin yan na-recognize. Hindi namin yan inaalaw. Bawal namin yan. And yet, wala silang ginagawa. So, is that ignorance of the law, Mr. President? Or total disregard of the law? Dito sa ating Anti-Hazing Act na nagsasabi na kailangan ang eskwelahan ay parehistro ninyo ang lahat ng mga fraternity na nag-i-exist sa iyo eskwelahan. Whether or not, tinutolerate ninyo yung fraternity niyan o hindi. Kailangan, kasi nakalagay dito sa batas. I-rehistro nyo yan at pag magkakaroon ng mga rights, initiation rights, ay magpaalam sila sa inyo. Pero kayong mga eskwelahan, tila ata ay hindi nyo ino-observe itong provision ng batas na ito. Kaya tama lang yung sabi ni Senator Tulfo na nakalagay na ito sa batas pero walang penal provision. Hindi natatakot ang mga eskwelahan na ibaliwala itong provision na ito dahil wala man sila pananagutan. Hindi man sila makukulong. So siguro, Mr. Chair, dito ako magkukonsentrate ngayon sa magiging penalty ng eskwelahan na nagpapabaya dahil nga, sabi nga ng doctrine ng locus parente, na kung ano yung responsibilidad ng mga parents sa kanya mga anak, yun din ang responsibilidad ng mga eskwelahan doon sa mga estudyante na nandun sa kanilang pangangalaga. Hindi po pwedeng tanggap lang kayo ng tanggap dyan ng tuition sa mga estudyante at pabayaan ninyo mga mata yung mga estudyante ninyo. Dahil wala man kami, lusot man kami dyan. Dahil it is a university policy that we do not allow paternity. We prohibit hazing. But alam namin na may hazing, mayroong paternity nag-exist sa eskwela namin. Pero nagpapabulag, pipi at bingi lang kami. Hindi namin pinalaman dahil wala man kami pananagutan. So itong batas na ito ay hindi nila sinusunod. So dapat i-aminda natin ito, Mr. President, at bigyan natin ng pangil ng batas na ito. Dahil hindi magandang may mamamatay na naman. Sana, Mr. President, wala nang mamatay na bata. Thank you, Mr. President. Sana kung pasagutin natin yung PASOK o yung Association of State Universities and Colleges at saka yung sa private sector na association lang, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, kukunin natin yung kanilang reaksyon tungkol dito. Pagbigay ng kaukulang penalty, punishment doon sa eskwelahan na hindi ginagampanan yung kanilang papel. Pwede ba, Mr. President, pasagutin natin sila? Thank you.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman.
I think the PASOK representative is virtually present, Attorney Rosales, and we have PACO. Ano ba yung PACO? Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities. You can respond. Maybe ask the technical to enlarge the faces of these two ladies. Sino mauna? Ayan, PACO. Maya Angelique Halala, and PASOK is Miss Attorney Rosales. Kahit sino po yung mauna sa inyo. We recognize first, start with the left, Miss Maya Angelique Hahalya.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Maayong hapon, Senator Bato, Senator Zubiri. Right. So, regarding the proposal of Senator Bato, we would like to manifest that the private education sector are really saddened by the devastating loss of young lives, Mr. Chair, and no one of us want these incidents to happen again. Mr. Chair, we would like to respectfully point out that under the Anti-Hazing Act of 2018, under Section 8 particularly, it enumerates the proactive steps that the schools must take in order to protect its students from the dangers of hazing or activities that involve hazing. And we manifest, Mr. Chair, that these two-pronged steps, the information dissemination campaign at the start of every semester regarding the consequences of participating in hazing, and the second part, the orientation program relating to membership in organizations, are being done by the schools as confirmed by UC Legal Counsel, Attorney Clavicilias, and the Adamson Legal Counsel as well. As regards the proposal to give more penalty towards schools, Mr. Chair, we would like to also say that we, the schools, since in PACO, Mr. Chair, in our partial or quick survey, we have gathered that at least 26 of our member schools ban or outlaw fraternities. So, meaning they cannot be officially registered in our schools. And we believe that these policies that our schools have is a valid exercise of their constitutionally guaranteed academic freedom, which accords them, the institution of higher learning, to the right to establish policies, academic and otherwise, and hampered by external controls or pressure unless there is grave. Mr. Chair, that our schools are not hiding or these are not alibis. All right. Am I back na po, Mr. Chair?
We can hear you, pero siguro liwanagin niyo po yung sa asosasyon ninyo. Hindi niyo na-recognize, hindi niyo na-recognize yung mga fraternities. Ang ibig sabihin, hindi kayo liable. Sa inyo bang pananaw, merong pagkakaiba yung recognition ng fraternities at registration ng fraternities sa inyong talaan?
Mr. Chair, based on our the response of our member schools, the fraternities and sororities become recognized when they are registered in the schools. So as of now, Mr. Chair, based on our the partial result of our surveys, 26 of our member schools do not allow or they ban fraternities precisely because, according to them, because of the long list of
So,
hazing
ma'am,
incidents in the past.
if I
Yes,
may
Mr.
cut
Chair.
you short, so
Yes, po.
dahil hindi nyo ni-recognize, hindi ni-register, wala na kayong pananagutan. Kung sakaling baguhin namin ang batas na recognize or not recognize, basta estudyante nyo, meron kayong pananagutan. Papayag po ba kayo nun? Kasi yung doctrine natin, locus parentis, kayo yung secondary parents. Hindi mo na maiiwasan yung, pagiging secondary parent mo dahil sa inyo
Yes.
nag-enroll. So kung i-amend natin yung batas, whether recognized or not recognized, registered or not registered, so long as the students involved came from your school, you can be held accountable. Papayag po ba kayo ng ganon?
Mr. Chair, we respectfully object the proposal because, Mr. Chair, the Supreme Court itself affirmed that the school cannot be an insurer of its students against all risks. And when the school, Mr. Chair, in its valid exercise of academic freedom, carries out its policies of banning fraternities, Mr. Chair, it cannot the students in question are not within its custody, Mr. Chair. It will be an act of injustice to penalize schools when students are doing these activities outside their custody.
Correct, correct. So labas na ng premises ninyo, pero kaya po sila na-recruit na maging, I have nothing against, for the record, against Taugama. Malaki rin na itulong ng Taugama sa ating lipunan. But what I'm saying is this, kaya po sila nag-member ng fraternity, kasi estudyante sila sa inyong school. So ibig sabihin nyo po, kahit nag-enrolled sila, estudyante nyo sila, gagraduate sila sa inyo, basta ayaw nyo lang ng involvement sa fraternities. Yun po yung gusto nyo. Gusto namin, parang ganito po, estudyante namin kayo, pero yung ginagawa nyo outside the school premises, wala kaming connection dyan. But the mere fact that they're students was the condition required for them to become a fraternity member. Otherwise, hindi sila magiging fraternity member ng school. Yung schools, they have fraternity chapters. Di po ba? So, payag po ba kayo na bigyan ng additional duties? Kahit nasa labas ng eskwelahan, as long as they are students, card-bearing students, registered students ng inyong pamantasan, ay may responsibilidad pa rin yung inyong eskwelahan. Pag sila po ay nagkaroon ng recognition, halimbawa sila ay naging outstanding athlete, outstanding member of society, wala po sa loob ng eskwelahan yung ginawa nila. Nasa labas, pero you share the same accolade and recognition. The glory belongs to the school. Pero pag nagkaroon ng aberya, wala kami dyan, nasa labas na yun ng school. Ganun po ba ang dapat natin gawin?
Mr. Chair, with regard to the student athletes, what they're doing is sanctioned by the school. They're being trained inside the premises and trained by faculty members of the school. As regards for fraternity-related activities, these are not sanctioned by the school. So, Mr. Chair, we respectfully say that those two scenarios are not the same because in one, we fully endorse the development of athletic activities of our youth.
Sample ko lang po yung athletic, pero pag meron pong performer sa, bawa, singer, sumali po sa isang singing competition, nanalo, o sasabihin nyo, ay, ano namin yan, estudyante namin yan. So, dala-dala rin po yung karangalan at pangalan ng inyong pamantasan. Pero pag nagkamali, ay wala kami pakialam dyan sa labas na yan ng eskwelahan. So, nirelate ko lang yung kanina, analogy dun sa athletic events, pero Debatable po yung question. I have other colleagues who will say their pieces here. Senator De La Rosa and then Senator Estrada, and then recognize the presence of Senator Tulfo in succession. Senator De La Rosa again.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Alam mo, ma'am, you mentioned about yung academic freedom. Alam mo ba na yung academic freedom na yan, that is the most abused phrase na ginagamit. Kaya yung ating mga kabataan napunta na, naging NPA na yung mga kabataan natin. At may mga tao at may mga estudyante tayo nangamatay dahil palagi nating in-invoke yung academic freedom at kinalimutan natin yung locus parentis. Ma'am, ganito na lang po. Kaya namin ito ini-insist dahil nga lumabas doon sa last hearing namin na 4 out of the yung 7 accused na nandito sa last hearing, inaamin nila na in the 4 years nila sa Adamson University, 8 semesters, wala sila talagang natanggap or nalaman na orientation seminar every start of the semester, which is provided by law, na dapat i-orient yung estudyante about fraternity. Wala po silang natanggap na orientation seminar at hindi sila nasabihan na eskwela kung gaano kasama, gaano kabigat yung Anti-Hazing Act of 2018 natin. Kaya sila, matapang pa rin sila na ginagawa nila yung hazing. So, kahit na anong insistent na sinasabi ng student affairs ng Adamson, si Mr. Nabalaska, ako, walang personalan ito, based on facts lang tayo na lumabas doon sa hearing natin. Kahit anong deny niya, lumalabas talaga na walang orientation. Kaya nga nakakommit sila ng krimen dahil hindi sila na-orient. Kaya ito nga, ang responsibilidad ng eskwelahan ay dapat andyan. Gabayan natin yung mga estudyante natin. Dahil mga bata ito, after na-commit nila yung crime, lumabas yung pagka-inosente nila, mga bata. Kawawa. Saka pa sa nagsisi, tapos na. Pero kung ito'y na-brief nyo ng husto, na-orient nyo ng husto, na kapag kayo'y nag-engage in hazing, mabigat ang parusa sa hazing, sigurado maghundos dili itong mga bata na ito na manghaze ng kanilang mga ka-fraternity, yung papasok sa fraternity nila. So yun lang po, kasi ang hirap ang hirap from my point of view, as a military officer, as a police officer, yung aming talagang ini-insist na command responsibility, ang hirap niyo yung iwasan yung command responsibility pagdating sa mga estudyante ninyo dahil alam ninyo na merong nag-i-exist na fraternity sa eskwelahan ninyo. Pero porket walang sanksyon doon sa batas, walang penal provision, hindi niyo in-implement itong provisions ng batas na ito. So, kailangan paigtingan natin itong batas na ito. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair. Mahirap sige iwas tayo sa problema. Otherwise, hindi mahinto ito. Hindi mahinto itong hazing na ito. That is, kung gusto nyo, i-outlaw natin talaga yung hazing. Pero it's impossible to outlaw hazing dahil constitutional right natin yung freedom from assembly. So, yun nga sa atin. Freedom from outlaw ang fraternity. I-outlaw natin ang fraternity, which very difficult to make. Dahil alam naman natin, constitutional right yan ng bawat tao. Yun lang sa akin, Mr. Chairman. Sana magkaklaruhan. Bago matapos ng hearing na ito, maklaro natin, madelineate natin kung sino dapat mananagot dito. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The Senate President would like
Thank you,
to
Mr. Chairman.
interject.
Following the questioning of or the statement of Senator Bato de la Rosa, gusto ko sana tanungin si Ma'am Maya and Attorney Rosales. To the two ladies, no? Do you think that to improve the law, we need to now compel students who enter universities to mandatorily declare that they are members of fraternities para alam ninyo? Kasi right now, baka hindi naman kailangan tanungin yun eh. So if a student joins, the problem kasi, Mr. Chairman, and correct me if I'm wrong, any of the resource persons here, there are fraternities that are not school-based. I know Tau Gamma Phi is a fraternity that's not necessarily school-based, and there's many other fraternities that are not school-based. If we now compel under the law the schools and the students to mandatorily declare if they are members of fraternities or not, maybe that will help. Di ba? Kasi if they are the school year, you get 1,000 applicants to your school. Out of that 1,000 applicants, under the law, you'll now have to put in your form, the entry form of these students, are you members of a fraternity, yes or no, under Republic Act so and so, with the amended Republic Act on the Anti-Hazing Law, you must declare your membership to fraternity if you are a member or not. Diba? Now, if they lie on that particular issue and they're a member of fraternity, eventually they will get into trouble in the schools, fraternity authorities. Then maybe the schools may prueba po sila. They have a reason to expel or to suspend the students. Maganda ba yan? Maganda bang mga amendment yan sa batas? I'd like to ask the two ladies.
Mr. Chair.
Rosales, come closer to your
Yes.
microphone.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon.
Ina po, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
We can hear you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. I'm now. Can you hear me na po?
Yes, we can, ma'am.
Okay. So as to the proposal of the Honorable President Subiri, so I think that will be of great help to the universities so that we will have knowledge whether there are students who are actually members of community-based fraternities. Because, Mr. Chair, that's really the problem among universities. We're not, in fact, knowledgeable of whether these students are actually members, and there were no reported incidents of hazing in the university. And so universities are also at times at a loss on that regard, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Miss Maya Hahalya.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you. I agree with the pronouncements of the PASOK representative, Mr. Chair, because in our understanding with the case of Matthew Salilig, Tau Gamma Phi is technically a community-based fraternity and not a school-based fraternity because they're not sanctioned to use the name of Adamson University, not sanctioned to use the logo of Adamson University. It's just that because they are banned, they know that fraternities and sororities are not allowed or not recognized by university. It's a matter of geographical logistics lang po, na because they are all students, but this is not a school-based fraternity, so they gathered or they organized among themselves, and the recommendation of Senator Subiri is helpful because then the schools, our member schools who do not recognize school-based fraternities can know who are members of community-based fraternities. Because again, Mr. Chair, we emphasize that hindi naman po lahat ng aming member schools do not recognize fraternities. There are those who do, especially recognize them. Yes.
Thank you. We note the statements coming from Miss Maya and Attorney Rosales, but you should also note the context of these proceedings. Nabasa ko po lahat yon. Ito mapapatunayan ng mga pulis. Nabasa ko po lahat yung mga screenshots ng mga sa group chat nila. Alam mo po ang sabi nung isa, basta tayo sa Lunes pagpasok sa school, normal lang tayo, wala nang iimik. Pagkatapos nilang ilibing si Matthew. Ibig sabihin, nire-respeto pa rin nila yung babalikan nilang eskwelahan kahit galing sila sa community-based group. Basta pagpasok natin sa Lunes, wala nang iimik. Normal lang kayo. Ganun po yung mga statements doon sa hawak na ebidensya ng ating kapulisan. So, thank you for your statements. Senator Estrada would like to interject.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, good afternoon to our Senate President and my colleagues here in the Senate. First and foremost, I would like to extend my sincerest and deepest sympathies to the family of John Matthew Salilig. Nakikisa ako sa pamilya ni John Matthew sa paghahanap ng katarungan sa kanyang senseless and gruesome death. No one deserves to die from a brutal death. Another young man had died from hazing. John Matthew was hoping to have a brotherhood that would protect and help him. Instead, these so-called brothers were the ones who paddled, punched, slapped, and caused him a lot of pain that resulted to his death. The fraternity involved is Tau Gamma Phi. It is one of the largest fraternities in the Philippines. It is also known as Triskelion Grand Fraternity. Ironically, its motto is, a Triskelion firmly believes in the power of reason and not in the use of force as reason. They believe in not using force, but their fraternity holds the highest number of recorded hazing deaths among all fraternities. We could no longer bring back the life of John Matthew. I fervently hope that this tragedy would be the stimulus needed to achieve a genuine reform in the anti-hazing law and in the policies of academic institutions that would lead to the abolition of hazing. We should not allow the death of John Matthew to be in vain. The perpetrators should be punished and be dealt with accordingly. May I ask, Mr. Chair, if there is any representative from Tau Gamma Phi present today? Is there any representative from Tau Gamma Phi who is present here today?
Wala po. Si ano lang, member ng fraternity, yung kapatid ni Matthew, si John Salilig. Kapatid niya.
No.
No, yung organisasyon. Wala.
Yeah, the organization.
Wala. Nung first hearing po, Your Honor, yun po sila nandito.
Didn't we invite him or her in today's hearing?
Sa first hearing lang sila.
Wala ho siya dito?
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, is this going to be the last hearing or are we going to conduct another hearing? The last. All right. Can I ask questions already? Okay. Okay. To the Philippine National Police, sino ang spokesperson ninyo? Ang dami niyong police dito.
I want to put on record the question for Tau Gamma. Thanks for the
Okay.
Make a suggestion, Mr. Chairman. If he has questions for the fraternity, he put it on record in this committee hearing so that it can be also taken up as part and parcel of the notes and proceedings. Yeah.
All right. Since there is no representative from the Tau Gamma Phi organization, no, I'll just
The
insert it.
secretary is directed to get the questions coming from Senator Estrada to be inserted as part of the records of these proceedings.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Portion, you can proceed, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay. Who is going to answer?
Colonel Hopia or PD?
Hopia.
Oh. Chief of Police of Binyan or the Provincial Commander of Laguna?
Okay. Can you give us any update of this case? How many are still at large?
Sir, 11 po yung ating at large, sir.
11 pa?
Yes, sir. 11 po.
There was a report that one of the suspects had allegedly committed suicide.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
When was this?
Last February 28, sir.
February
28, sir.
28.
Yes, sir.
So, 10 na lang at large.
Ano po, 11 po, sir. Pang 12 po dapat siya, sir.
Pang 12
Yes,
ito.
sir.
So, 11. So, anong status? Hindi nyo pa mahanap?
Yung ano po,
Are
sir,
there any leads or information
with
with
regards,
regards to the 11 persons at large?
meron po, sir. Meron po kami. Where in fact, sir, I know some of these 11 individuals, sir, were surrendered to the National Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, maybe we can ask Assistant Director. I'll get back to you. Assistant Director June de Guzman, meron na po bang nag-surrender sa inyo?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, Senate President, and Senator Bato,
National Bureau of Investigation.
Yes, sir.
You can answer the question of Senator Estrada.
Actually, sir, during the last hearing, the NBI was asked if we have with us any member of the Tau Gamma fraternity, and I spoke that there were 5 members who were at the custody of the NBI, apart from those that were charged by the Binyan Police. I think they charged at least 6 or 7. 7. So plus 5 from the NBI. Now, statements were taken from the 5 members, and with the investigation that we conducted, our investigators concluded that we can file the case, as we indeed filed the case already, against the rest of the members of the Tau Gamma fraternity. Your Honor, we are just awaiting for the warrants of arrest to come out so that we can start serving the warrant of arrest against these respondents.
Okay, thank you, Director Jun de Guzman. Mr. Colonel Hopia,
Job, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
saan ba nangyari yung initiation?
Sir, the initiation was happened in in Barangay Casilla, sir, of our city, Binyan City, sir.
Binyan.
Yes, sir.
All right. Sino may-ari ng bahay?
Family, sir, ng isang suspect po natin.
Family ng isang
Apo, sir.
suspect. Well, I'll just invite your attention to the anti-hazing law. According to the law, the owner or lessee of the place where hazing is conducted shall be liable as principal. For failure to report the hazing incident despite having knowledge about it, the owner of the house can be penalized with a fine of 2 to 3 million pesos, as well as jail time of up to 40 years, parang equivalent na sa reclusion perpetua. Nalaman na ba ito kung sino may-ari? Was the owner made accountable?
Yes, sir. Pero in fact, sir, isa po siya dun sa ating...
Did you file charges against him or the owner of the house?
Not yet, sir.
Why?
Yung ano po namin, sir, dahil yung parents po nung isang suspect, sir, bahay po mismo nila yung ginamit, sir. Yun po yung pinailamin ng kaso dahil yung parents niya, sir, ano po, yung tatay niya lang yung buhay, sir. Ano na po, bedridden na, sir. Yung
So
tatay.
it doesn't exempt him or her from being accused, from being charged, correct?
Yes, sir.
How old is the owner of the house?
Around 70, sir.
So
70
bedridden.
years old, sir. Yes, sir.
So nag-iisa lang siya.
Yes, sir.
So sino dapat, kung bedridden na yung tao, sino dapat ang kasuhan?
Sir, ang kinasuhan po namin, sir, yung anak po.
Yung anak lang.
Yes, sir. Kasama po siya sa arrested person, sir, namin.
Okay, na-recover niyo ba yung cellphone ng biktima ni John Matthew?
Wala na po, sir, kahit isang gamit. Wala na kaming na-recover, sir.
Walang na-recover kahit isang gamit? Hindi niyo ba tinanong sa mga suspects
Sir,
kung
according
nasaan yung cellphone ng biktima?
Sir, according to the arrested suspect, sir, one of the at-large suspect po yung nag-dispose ng mga gamit ng ating biktima, sir.
Saan dinispose?
Yun po, sir, ang hindi na rin may sabi ng mga ibang arrested, sir, dahil at-large po yung isa nating suspect. At probably, sir, kung makuha po namin siya, baka malaman namin, sir, kung saan po dinispose.
Meron ba kayong timeline o timetable kung kailan yung mahuli yung mga at-large?
Sir, pagka na-issue po, sir, ng warrant of arrest, sir, maano po namin agad, sir.
Ang court sa mag-i-issue, correct?
Yes, sir.
Ano sabi ng korte? Kailan sila mag-i-issue ng warrant? Hindi nyo ba fina-follow up sa korte?
Actually, sir, for preliminary investigation po, yung kaso ng mga pinailan namin na kaso doon sa mga at-large na suspect, sir.
Okay, yung driver nung kotse, nahuli niyo na ba? Sino yung nagdadrive ng kotse nung inilibing yung katawan ni John Matthew?
Yes, sir. Arrested po, sir.
Nasaan na?
Nasa aming custodial facility,
Kasama
sir.
yun sa mga suspects?
Yes, sir. Opo.
Ano siya? Driver lang ba siya or member siya ng fraternity?
Siya mismo, sir, yung Grand Rescue ng Adamson
Ay,
chapter, sir.
yung bata.
Yes, sir. Yung alias Nike, sir.
Yung nandito nung isang hearing, yung bata?
Yes, sir.
Siya yung nagda-drive.
Yes, sir. Opo.
So ano yung mga charges na final nyo sa kanila?
Yung violation of RA
Anti-hazing-
11053, sir.
Anti-hazing law.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, can you enlighten this committee? Has been dragging since last month. So, kailangan natin maisara na itong kaso dahil, alam mo, nakakaawa naman yung pamilya nung biktima. And this is not only the first time, this is not only the second time, this is not only the third time. Marami na ang namamatay dahil dito sa hazing. Can you give us siguro a timetable on when this case will be closed or be resolved?
Sir, as far as the PNP, sir, sa amin sa Binyan CP, sir, we consider this case, sir, solved po upon the arrest of the suspect, sir, and identification of all the person involved dito sa hazing case.
So
But,
you already identified those persons who are at large?
yes, sir.
Identified yun na lahat?
Identify po
And
lahat.
you know their whereabouts?
We know their addresses, sir. But definitely, sir, wala po sila dun yan, sir.
But of course, you cannot divulge in public the whereabouts of the suspect
Yes, sir.
for security reasons.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Siguro isulat nyo na lang sa amin kung saan talaga yung yung mga whereabouts nitong mga hayop na ito.
Yes, sir. We will provide, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Colonel Hopia.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, sa administrator,
Your Honor, from the records, the
mga hayop naman talaga. Anyway, it's okay. Mr. Administrator, ikaw ba administrator na Adamson? Ano ba?
Your Honor, I'm the Director for Student Affairs.
Okay. Just to refresh our memories here, kailan nyo nalaman yung pagkamatay ni John Matthew? Kailan nyo nalaman yung pagkamatay ni John Matthew?
When the news came out, Your Honor, that was when the body was found, that was February 28. February 28, Your Honor.
The news came out on February 28. But nalaman nila, February 18, patay na. He was reported missing February 18, am I correct?
The report that he was missing, Your Honor.
Yes.
February
And
18.
the school only knew about it 10 days after.
Those were allegations, but until when they said that the corpus delicti was found, that was February 28, when the body was recovered, Your Honor.
So you never knew that John Matthew was already missing since February 18?
We got the information that he was missing February.
When did you get that information that John Matthew was missing on February 18?
That was February 20, Your Honor. We received
20?
20.
Ano itong 28?
No, that was the time when his body was recovered, Your Honor.
Okay. So what did you do? What did the school do?
Immediately when we received the information through email that he was missing by his brother, he was asking for help.
His brother is
Yeah.
present right now?
Yeah, we received, actually.
Okay.
We coordinated with our different chairpersons, and the classmates as to find out as to who was John Matthew with and to give us informations of his whereabouts, Your Honor. February 20, Your Honor, we have no class because that was our foundation week right after. Then 21, 22, then 23, that was graduation. And 24, Your Honor, was also another holiday advancing people power, Your Honor. So we did, through email communications to help to Kate and give us information as to whereabouts, if he attended his classes or his classmates know him, of his whereabouts, Your Honor.
Oh, what happened? Did you get information from the classmates?
There was no lead, Your Honor, about his whereabouts, except that when our PNP came to us, 27, and there was this.
When did you report it to the police force?
The police force came to us, Your Honor, by 27.
No, did you report the incident to the
It's
police?
already reported, Your Honor, by his brother.
Okay. That was when. When did you report that to the police?
Actually, Your Honor, my older brother reported it February 20 in the evening.
February 20.
Yes.
Sa Binyan City. Sa iyo, Colonel
No, sir.
Hopia.
Manila Police District, sir.
Sa Manila Police District.
Yes.
All right.
And then February 27, I was with the Manila Police nung pumunta po kami sa Adamson University.
Why did it take you 7 days after?
During the after po na na report na missing po, hinanap na po ng Manila Police and with the coordination ng Binyan Police po.
No.
Until,
You reported it to the police on February 20, correct?
yes.
That your
yes.
brother was missing.
Yes. Yes po.
And then sabi mo it took you 7 days, February 20 to 27. Bakit ang tagal? Bakit isang linggo?
Yung older brother ko po yung nag-report, Your Honor, na nandito po. And then kami po kami naghanap pa po kami ng mga leads like kumuha pa po kami ng mga information
Okay,
like
what
the
happened-
CCTV.
What happened between February 20 to 27?
Nagkaroon na po ng operation, Your Honor, kasama po yung Binyan Police. 28 po nahanap, pero
Okay.
prior to that,
Kailan nyo nalaman, Colonel Hopia?
Sir, actually, sir, it was, you came to us February 26, of the night of February 26, sir. Since then, sir, we conducted,
Okay, the Manila Police coordinated with your
yes, sir, together
You-
with Martin, yes, sir.
6 days after when you reported it to the Manila Police. May representative ba ng Manila Police dyan? Wala. Bakit 6 days after pa?
kasi, Your Honor, accordingly, they cannot move kasi wala pa daw pong crime and wala pa pong evidence. So kami po ng brother ko, naghanap po kami ng mga like leads, like the CCTV, kung saan sumakay yung brother ko. And until napunta
Okay.
po kami sa Binyan. kung
You
saan
did it
sila-
on your own without any assistance coming from the police?
We did, sila po ang nagbigay ng mga...
Sino? Binyan na o
No,
Manila?
hindi po. Kasi si Binyan po pumasok dyan, February 26.
Okay.
Yes po.
So you yourself gave the lead to them?
Yes. Nagkaroon yung mga evidence po from like
Okay.
the CCTV camera sa
Yo,
bus
How
terminal.
did you get the
The
evidence?
permission of the Manila Police District, Your Honor.
With the permission of the
Opo,
Manila...
sila po yung iningi po namin yung, since we already have the missing person report, so yun
Yes.
po yung prinisent namin sa bus terminal. And
Okay.
nung binigay na po nila sa amin yung CCTV copy, doon po namin na-trace na sa Binyan po talaga bumaba yung kapatid ko together with other members of the fraternity.
All right. So you reported it to the Binyan Police?
Yes. Yes po, na-report po sa Binyan Police February 26 po.
26.
Yes po.
Okay. Si Colonel, February 26, ni-report sa inyo what's your name again? Sorry.
John Martin.
John
Your Honor.
Martin. Na-report sa inyo ni John Martin, yung kapatid.
Yes,
So
sir.
agad-agad, anong ginawa ninyo?
We immediately conduct a follow-up investigation, sir.
Okay. Paano nyo nalaman kung saan nyo nailibing yung bata?
From ano, sir?
Tapos-
From the bus terminal that provided yung ng MPD and ni Martin na footage, sir. Nag-trace back na kami ng mga CCTV footage, sir. Up to nakarating kami doon sa barangay na ganapan ng sir, ng initiation talaga, sir.
And then, were you present?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
Yes
were
po.
you present when you found the body of your brother?
I'm the one who identified my brother, Your Honor.
All right. So mismo sa Binyan.
No, sir. Nakita na po yung body, sir, sa Imus, Cavite, sir.
Sa Imus na.
Yes, sir. Sa Malagasang, sir.
Bakit lumayo? Bakit lumayo na? Bakit napunta na sa Cavite? John Martin?
Wala po akong idea, Your Honor. Actually, Your Honor, nagkaroon po
Then,
kami...
sumakay yung kapatid mo sa bus papuntang Binyan.
Yes po.
Okay? Tapos nag-imbestiga na sila. They conducted a thorough investigation, I suppose. Okay. Paano na-trace sa Imus, Cavite, yung... Bangkay.
Can I answer, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Kasi po, I think that was Saturday night, February 26 or 25, may nag-message po sa akin na yun daw po talaga ang nangyari. One, I think, isa po siya sa mga member. Ano siya, Your Honor, ginawa lang yung account just to message me na Matt died because of hazing and dinala po siya sa Cavite.
Ito yung mga suspects, yung mga bata, yung nandito nakarang hearing. Sila ang nagdala sa Imus.
Yes po.
And naghukay sila ng lupa.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, pwede makisingit po.
Yes.
Permission of
Mr.
Senator
Chair,
Estrada.
with your permission.
Please.
We have a limited time.
Kasi I understand magkakaroon tayo ng session sa plenary and
Yes,
this will be the last hearing. So saan makatanong lang ako.
Just a friendly interruption.
Friendly interruption if you don't mind,
Senator Tulfo,
Your Honor.
with permission
Yes,
of
my
Senator
idol.
Estrada.
Kasi last hearing na raw to eh.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then after this, wala na. So sayang naman punta ko.
You
dito.
will also allow
Tanong.
us to interject later on.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you, thank you. Please proceed.
Kasi meron po akong hawak dito, records from the Department of Justice, National Prosecuting Service. Simula po nung magkaroon ng amendment sa amended version ng anti-hazing law noong 2018, napansin ko po, 2019, 42 total caseload filed. 2020, naging 19. Una, babalikan ko, 2018, 11. Tama po, caseload filed. And then, nung 2019, tumaas, naging 42. Despite the fact na pinasa na yung amended version ng anti-hazing law. And then 2020, naging 19, 2021, naging 12, 2022, naging 20. And then, napapansin ko rito na yung information filed in court ay mataas pa rin. 10 noong 2019, 20, 2020, 2021, 9, 10. Ang tanong ko lang po, meron ho ba mga na-convict? Ano nangyari po sa mga kasong ito? Meron ba taga DOJ? Ma'am Attorney Olivia, meron na ho ba mga nakulong?
State prosecutors recognized. Please,
Thank
answer
you,
the
Mr.
question.
Chair. The data that was provided to us does not contain the number of conviction. For 2018, no data as regards the conviction.
So ano nang po nangyari sa mga kasong ito?
Only for the year 2022. Perhaps still ongoing prosecution. Just like the Horacio Acho hazing case, which was filed in 2017, we are still
Okay,
in
still ongoing.
stage
So,
of
para mapabilis po tayo, ma'am. Okay, example, 2019, 42 total case filed. And then resolved 41. Ang taas na ng resolve. Ano to? Yung mga na-acquit or na basura or na akyat na kaso sa korte?
na-resolve po ng National Prosecution Service.
Anong klaseng resolution po ito?
Ito po yung mga resolution na na-file ang information sa korte.
Okay, kasi katulad nito, sa 2019, 42 cases filed, 41 resolved. Pero ang na-file lang sa korte is 10. So, ibig sabihin, 32 ang nabasura.
Pwede pong na-dismiss, pwede rin
Kaya
naman
na-dismiss na basura, pareho lang po yun.
basura po.
Opo. So, na-dismiss.
Pwede pong
Bakit
na-dismiss.
po? Bakit mas napapansin ko mataas yung rate ng mga nadi-dismiss versus yung mga napafile sa korte? Ano pong dahilan? Saan po nagka-problema rito?
Ang kaso po kasi pwedeng i-file natin either inquest proceeding or preliminary investigation. Kung inquest proceeding po, pwede po na hindi po binigyan ng probable cause ng prosecution. Ganun din po
Kaya nga po, ang ibig sabihin, ma'am, yeah, I understand that, kahit hindi ako lawyer. Dalawa lang mangyari yan eh. Yung sabi mo nga, preliminary investigation, pagkatapos ng inquest, or dinismiss, walang probable cause, or nagkaroon ng probable cause, inakyat sa judge. So nakikita ko rito, biglang bumagsak from 42 naging 10 noong 2019. From 2020, 19, okay, at least sa 19, medyo 2020 tumaas. 2021 bumaba. So bumababa. So ibig sabihin maraming na-dismiss. Ano to? Dahil kulang sa ebidensya? Mahinang ebidensya? Mahinang ginawang investigasyon?
Dismiss kung kulang po ang ebidensya.
Kulang. So ibig sabihin tayo nagpa-file ng mga kaso na kulang sa ebidensya? Sihilaw yung kaso kaya pinipilit lang natin i-file kaya nadi-dismiss?
Ang
O
kaso
nati-technical po tayo?
Opo, ang procedure po kasi ang nagpa-file po sa amin ay ang law enforcement agencies. So kung sa tingin po ng mga prosecutors, kulang po ang ebidensya na na-file sa National Prosecution Service, wala po tayong magagawa. Kung hindi, i-dismiss po natin ang kaso.
So, ang may problema dito kung tutusin yung law enforcement. Base po sa mga inyong sinasabi,
Po pwede po na law enforcement,
kulang yung sa mga ebidensya na gather nila.
po
Kaya
pwede-
na-dismiss.
ganun po ang nangyari. Kulang po ang ebidensya.
So ano pong inyong suggestion para hindi na po, masakit sa mata, ma'am, tinitingnan ko kanina pa, na ang dami na di-dismiss. So base sa sinasabi nyo, maring kamalian ito ng mga taga-law enforcement dahil hindi pa sila gumawa ng kanilang research para talagang makahon yung mga akusado rito. So napapakawalan dahil hilaw yung ginagawa investigasyon ng PNP at sa pag-submit ng mga proper evidence sa korte, tama? So ano po dapat gawin natin sa PNP? Ano po yung advice nyo sa PNP?
Meron pong isinusulong ngayon ng Department of Justice ang case build-up na kung saan po magkakaroon ng maayos na coordination between the law enforcement agency and the prosecution. So kasama na po ang mga prosecutors natin sa pagbi-build up ng kaso.
Okay, can I suggest, how about witness protection program? Maybe natatakot yung ibang mga witnesses, yung mga nagreklamo, umatras na lang.
Ang Department of Justice naman po ay ating
So meron na ho ba tayo nabigyan na isa sa ilalim sa witness protection program?
ang kaso po ni
So ano nangyari po doon? Nag-prosper ho ba?
Opo, ang kaso po ni Horacio Casillo III, ang star witness po namin is actually a state witness. So, sa stage po na ito, maganda naman po ang naabot ng prosecution, na deny po ang bail, denied po ang demurrer, at dahil po yan sa state witness. So, hindi po na isinasara ng prosecution lagi ang possibility na magkaroon tayo ng state witness kung kinakailangan. Kasi kung wala pong direktang ebidensya, wala po tayong eyewitness na sasabi po ng eyewitness account kung paano po ang hazing nangyari, wala po tayong magagawa kundi kumuha ng state witness kung kulang ang circumstantial evidence natin.
Okay, so ma'am, siguro ang advice ko rito, pag-aralin mabuti kung saan po nagkulang dito ang ating law enforcement at kayo po sa DOJ, paano po sila makatulong para mapatibay yung mga kaso yung pinafile sa inyo. So mag-usap po kayo sa PNP at kayo para next time maging malakas na yung kaso na ipinafile. And another thing, kanina nabanggit ni Senator Jingo Estrada na meron nga po ngayon sa bagong amended na batas sa ating anti-hazing law na answerable po, totoo yun, answerable po yung may-ari ng venue, pero ang nakalagay doon, kung alam niya, tama, at hindi niya report. In my case, yung pong ipapile ko na batas, reclusion perpetua, whether alam niya o hindi, yung may-ari ng venue, dapat makasuhan ng reclusion perpetua, whether alam niya o hindi, para mag-ingat siya sa pagpapahiram. Pagpapahiram at freely na ipapayagan niya ang sino man Poncio Pilato na kamag-anak niya gamitin yung kanyang venue, maging may-ari ng sasakyan. Yun po yun. Yun aking suggestion. And doon po sa school, administrative, dapat magkaroon administrative case yung opisyalis sa mga eskwelahan, magkakaroon ng fine. At the same time siguro, perpetual disqualification sa anumang public service. And then ito pa isa. Kanina nag-usap ko ni Senator Bato de la Rosa, sinabi ko sa kanya, Sen Bato, para matigil na rin po yung hazing sa PMA, ang akin pong suggestion, batas na gagawin, Mr. Chair, reclusion perpetua sa superintendent ng PMA sa ngalan po ng command responsibility. Pag may na-hazing na estudyante, plebo dyan sa PMA, yung superintendent, reclusion perpetua matic. Tingnan natin kung hindi, magpakatino yung mga taga-PMA na yan. Tingnan natin dahil, sabi pa nga ni Senator Bato, pati PNPA, tingnan natin kung hindi yung mga opisyalis nila, pag may hazing nandyan, hoy, huwag kayo maggawa ng initiation na wala kami dahil kung hindi, ma-reclusion perpetua kami. Yan pong suggestion ko. Only then, siguro matitigil ang hazing dyan sa PNPA, hazing dyan sa PMA. And then again, reclusion perpetua, hindi lamang sa mga involved sa hazing, kundi maging sa mga opisyalis ng fraternity. Whether sila ay nandoon o hindi. Maging sa mga alumni, sa mga grandmaster na yan, maging sa mga mayan sakyan, lahat sila reclusion perpetua. Tingnan natin kung hindi magsitigil mga ito. Yun na po, Mr. Chair. Magandang hapon po.
Thank you, Senator Tulfo. The committee notes will note your recommendations as we prepare the committee report. In the interest of time, konti na lang po kasi yung oras. We'll have a plenary at 3 o'clock. Magpagkasalitain natin si Mr. Jeffrey Salilig, yung ama po ni Matthew, pagkatapos po noon si Mrs. Carmina Castillo, pagkatapos po siguro isa doon sa Philippine Association, hindi, pasensya na po kayo, hindi ko mabasa yun, Kokopea, opo, mamaya. Pero isa lang po sa ating law enforcement officers, meron po ako dito, yung sinumpaang salaysay, thank you Senator Tulfo, meron po ako dito yung sinumpaang salaysay ni, hawak-hawak ko po ito, isa sa mga na-file na kaso, si Ralph Benjamin Tan. Ang nag-imbestiga po rito ay ating kapulisan. Ralph Benjamin Tan, tama po ba yon, sir?
Yes, sir.
COP. So, si Ralph Benjamin Tan ay nakakulong ngayon.
No, sir. I believe, sir, he's the one who went to the NBI, sir.
NBI, nasa inyong custody pa si Ralph Benjamin Tan?
Yes, sir. Ralph Benjamin Tan, one of the 5 respondents who
Voluntarily
surrendered to
Yeah.
the NBI.
Yes. Kaya ko po tinatanong ito, bahagi po ng salaysay ni Ralph Benjamin Tan, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, correct me if I'm wrong, nakalagay po doon na noong, ang palayaw niya is Scotty. Noong araw na yon, nung gabi, alas 9 ng gabi, yun pong yung Lee ay sinundo ng kanyang pinsan na isa ring doktor. Buhay pa ho nito si Matthew, isa ring doktor. Subalit tinanong ni Ralph Benjamin Tan si Lee kung pwedeng tumulong yung kanyang pinsan na doktor para asistihan si Matthew. Ang sabi po nung doktor, hindi pwede. Ang tanong ko po ngayon ganito, atin po bang hinanap kung sino itong doktor na ito who declined to offer medical assistance na